Hello everyone, and welcome to my video presentation of Chapter 1 in Razi Bardati's book Conflicting Humanities, titled Contested Post-Humanities. This reading was heavy on the history and evolution of the discipline of humanities in academia and led me down more research rabbit holes than I'm willing to admit. But let's get into what Bardati wants us to learn from the evolution of humanities and what work we have left to do to secure the status of the discipline in academic institutions. Razi Bardati is a feminist continental philosopher. She is a distinguished university professor emerita at Utrecht University in the Netherlands. Her work has three focal points: contemporary subjectivity, feminist theories, and the post-human convergence. She holds multiple honorary degrees and lists 7 books in her main publications on her homepage, most dealing with post-humanism. As you'll see in this summary of the first chapter of her book, she has put a lot of work into understanding the evolution of humanist studies, their strengths and weaknesses, and how we can make the discipline better moving forward. The evolution of humanist studies has been largely due to the difficulties in staying relevant in a rapidly evolving academic environment. Bardati explains how government funding getting cut to universities hit the humanities department the hardest, and they needed to find a way to stay relevant. She argues how, quote, the public university in the USA was transformed from a flagship of the post-war welfare system to a privatized enterprise oriented towards business and its own self-accumulation. And the humanities were seen as, quote, left-wing hobbies or, quote, a high-risk, no-gain investment. The discipline of humanities, as it was known under figureheads like Foucault and Said and their modern-postmodern debate, transitioned into the more specified critical studies and the theory wars in the 90s. Branches of humanism focused on feminism, queer theory, anti-racism, gender studies, post-colonialism, and more, and they were all vying for their own validity in academic discourse. These new fields brought methodological innovations and theoretical creativity to the discipline as a whole, but their emergence was contentious with the existing humanities scholars because they created a new version of the self, the human, knowledge, and society, and that contrasted with the established academic definition of humanity. Bardati explains this tension exposed the fatal flaw in humanities, their inbuilt Eurocentrism that unfolds into methodological nationalism. Since the Enlightenment, the default human has always been seen as a Eurocentric perspective, dehumanizing those with variations to the subjective expectations. She clarifies that the, quote, humanistic man defined himself as much by what he excluded from as what he included in his rational self-representation, and used that reasoning to justify violence and oppression against anyone deemed other. As time went on, the advancements in technology in our environment helped us zoom out the frame of Eurocentrism as the roadblock to progress and see that anthropocentrism was truly limiting the scope of our perspective. This all leads us to the post-human turn. We've only just begun to decenter humanity from our examination of the full history of our existence and the role we play in it while considering the autonomy of every other living thing in existence. From plants and animals to bodies of water and the earth itself, the post-humanist lens asks you not just to consider what it means to be human, but what part humanity plays in the overall existence of this earth alongside all the rest of non-human life. The post-human turn isn't just about considering our environment as well, but because of the technological advances our society has made, technological mediation is also a significant part of the post-human studies. Bardati argues that the humanities need to embrace the multiple opportunities offered by the post-human condition, while keeping up the analyses of power formations and the social forms of exclusion and dominations perpetrated by the current world order of biopiracy, necropolitics, and the worldwide dispossession. There is a lot of good that the academic discipline of humanities contributed to the world, but unless they open their minds to these new opportunities, their discipline will lose its academic authority. Moving forward, Bardati emphasizes the need to disengage from anthropocentrism and work towards a zoocentered system of species egalitarianism. She uses the work being done in the digital humanities and environmental humanities to emphasize the interdependence of man and nature and technology. She does warn that decentralizing humanity can have some adverse effects, and describes how neo-humanists are projecting human qualities such as empathy and morality onto non-human entities with very little logic involved in that projection. The key to post-humanism convergence is finding the missing links between each of the specific studies that branched off of modern humanism, to make them as interdisciplinary as possible and collectively strengthen the credibility of humanities in academic institutions. She wants us to, quote, think rhizomically, or to admit the connections between any of our constituent elements regardless of any predefined ordering, structure, or entry point. We can recognize what humanism was, acknowledge and dismantle its flaws, and continue reconstructing knowledge in an ever-evolving post-humanist discipline. Here's a clip of her explaining how even if we disagree with the institutional canon of humanism, it's still important to remember where we came from, while we also work towards achieving something new.
Discipline, but Deleuze is also helpful in another level. It's about the temporality of this. The Bergsonian turn that Deleuze activates in his thinking allows us to, and I've written about this, I did it in the Tanners at Yale, and also is very strong in the next book, the present. The present is not one block of either anxiety or of excitement. It's not one thing. It's 1,000 plateaus of temporal complexities. In fact, the formula that they offer is the present is both the record of what we are ceasing to be and the seed of what we are in the process of becoming simultaneously, the actual and the virtual. So you can do the present like the record of what we are ceasing to be, and we are ceasing to be men. Yeah, let me see if I care. We are ceasing to be anthropos, but we're in the process of becoming 1,000 other things.
That was quite a blunt summary, and I didn't include any of the rabbit holes I went down either. Do you know what a rhizome is in post-humanist discourse? So many good YouTube videos on that. Anyway, I hope that you were able to glean the info you needed about the chapter for my review here. Thank you for watching, and keep it balanced, friends. Bye! I'm going to leave it even if I mispronounced it. That's it. That's all she wrote. That's all I need to do. Bye!